always looking at the viewfinder instead of the camera, so I'm going to try to be very cautious.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiara here, and today I decided to come to you guys not with a regular book review type of video, but I decided that I wanted to do the new Booktuber Tag. I knew it existed, but I didn't really want to make it my first video. I wanted to just do a book review because that's what I want my channel to be about, but I think it is good to have you guys learn more about me, get to know me so we can be friends. And I don't know, I just feel like when I'm watching someone on the internet, I'm kind of curious a little about their life too. So I have the questions pulled up on my phone. Well, I'm gonna pull it up real quick and then I'll get started. Alright, let's get started. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I've always been obsessed with YouTube, and I started a channel about 3 years ago, and I started doing kind of a mixture of things that I like, so beauty, fashion, lifestyle. I started vlogging my college experience, and I also did book videos. But I didn't really know that Booktube was a thing, and later on I discovered Booktube and videos about books. I just didn't know it was an entire community, and as I'm trying to grow my other channel, I decided that I wanted to have more of a focus, but I really did love reading and I did want to make videos about books. So I decided to create an entirely new channel that would be focused solely on books, and I wouldn't have this cluttered channel of books and lifestyle and vlogs and just like a million other things. So that's why I specifically started this channel. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? That's a tough question. I don't like to necessarily think of myself as like super fun and unique. I do think a unique aspect that I could bring to Booktube is my taste in books. Again, everyone has very different tastes in books. And it's not like I've watched a lot of booktubers. I watched maybe like 5 or 6, but the ones that I do watch mainly only focus on YA, you know, young adult, fantasy novels, sometimes, you know, realistic, just YA books. And while I do love YA and it is my favorite genre, I do kind of venture off into other literature, so I think that would be something unique. So I hopefully will be bringing book reviews of like classic literature that I enjoy, and not like the basic classics. I like classics, unorthodox classics, if that makes sense. Like, I love the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, but most people know The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. So I think that unique aspect, and then I also like romance books, and not like typical YA romance, but like some real like borderline erotica romance. I really do enjoy those books, so hopefully I'll be able to bring all those unique aspects to my viewers. Also, I don't know any black booktubers. I haven't discovered any. Not saying that they don't exist, and I don't want to discredit any black booktubers that are out there, but I haven't seen any, so I think that would be something unique, because I personally would have loved to find a black booktuber. Not that they would be better or anything, but just to see someone that I can identify with and who reads maybe African American novels by, you know, novels by black authors. That's not something that I see a lot in the booktube community, so I think hopefully that is something unique that I can bring out, and hopefully, I keep saying hopefully, but I plan to grow and work on that, so yeah. Third question, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Basically everything that I just talked about. I'm excited to bring a different aspect, a unique aspect, something that I haven't seen before. Again, I don't want to discredit anyone if you exist out there and I just haven't discovered you, because YouTube is a giant community, but it's not something that I've seen, and I'm excited to bring what I can offer to the table, basically. Number 4, why do you love reading? Well, I mean, how could you not? I just love reading because it's like, I guess everyone says this, it's my escape. And because, you know, some kids do sports, some people like to run when they want to escape, some people like to listen to music, some people play an instrument, and for me, books, wow, I cannot speak. And I speak like competitively. Anyway, books have always been something that has been there for me. I learned how to read at a very, very young age. I was reading at the age of 3. So books have always been kind of my friend. I do have a sister, but she is 7 years older than me. So me and her, when I was a child, you know, we didn't connect much. I was in like the 2nd grade and she was practically in high school. So there wasn't a lot for us to connect with each other, and just there weren't a lot of similarities between us at that time. So books were kind of my only friend. So I kind of grew up like an only child because my middle school, you know, my sister was outside of the house. So reading has just always been my friend when I had no one else. I'm really bad at explaining these. What book or series got you into reading? Okay, so like I said in my last question, I started to read at a very, very young age, at the age of 3. That's what my parents always told me. And so I'm assuming those series that I read as a child really got me into it. Like, I was obsessed with Junie B. Jones. I was obsessed with, I forgot what the series was called, but it's like, hello God, are you there? It's me, Margaret. Like, I forget what that series was called, but I used to love that series. I wasn't really into the Babysitter's Club, but I did love Goosebumps, Beezus and Ramona. I loved those series. So those were like my childhood series books that I really, really loved. And then when I really got obsessed with reading, that happened with, you think I'm going to say Harry Potter, but I'm not. It actually happened with the series of Unfortunate Events. I know a lot of people got really into reading with Harry Potter because Harry Potter came out, at least people my age, when you were like in middle school and things like that. But my parents are very Christian and they didn't want me to read about witchcraft and wizardry, so I was not allowed to read Harry Potter when I was a child, and I didn't end up reading it until my senior year of high school. So I really got into reading with a series of Unfortunate Events. It is my favorite series to this day. I have the entire collection that I will hopefully read to my children one day, and it gave me a very extensive vocabulary, I will give it that. So that is the series that made me obsessed, and I would reread it every year, like from, I think I started reading it in the 4th grade, so I'd read it 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. I'll read it right now. Like, I love it, and I would reread them every single year. And most of the time, it was because I wanted, like, the AR points. But, yeah. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but, like, those, like, reading tests and, like, that reading competition in middle school. Maybe it's just me. Number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I don't know. I don't really have favorite booktubers. Like I said earlier, I only watch about 5 or 6 because when I got into YouTube, I was very into like the beauty community, things like that. So I wasn't really aware of Booktube, and I'm still discovering it and meeting new people. So I don't think I have any questions that I would ask them at this moment. But maybe ask me in a few months and I might have some questions. And I might have a favorite booktuber. I just don't have one right now. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think this would be the same challenges that I had with my last, well, not my last because it's still my channel, but with my beauty and lifestyle channel. And the challenges come with having a YouTube channel, you know, reading books, talking about them, giving reviews. Like, that's easy for me. That's something I've been doing all my life. Just the issue would be, you know, finding time to film. I'm a very busy person. I'm in university right now. I also do an extracurricular activity. I do speech and debate competitively. I also have a job. So adding YouTube in the mix and finding time to film, finding time to read these days, and also just getting my channel out there. You know, no one does YouTube just to I'm not doing YouTube to become, like, you know, this whole big, like, YouTuber. Like, I'm too private. I don't really want my life out like that. But no one, you know, wants to put themselves out there and just have, like, no one to talk to. Like, of course, I want my channel to grow. I want it to progress. I want to make friends. Also, shout out to my friend Maggie. Thanks for being awesome. Like, she's really cool, and I really like talking to her. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's why I'm on Booktube. Like, I want to make friends. I want to get myself out there. I want to meet other people who like to read. So my issue would be, again, finding time to film, and then also the challenge of getting myself out there, because again, My YouTube channel is not something that I've told my friends and my family about. I'm like still kind of embarrassed about it, so it's really hard for me to be like, hey, watch my video, or like posting all over my social media. Like it's not something that I'm ready to do. I don't want to be that exposed yet, but I still want to meet people that I don't know, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to be a celebrity. Like, I don't want it, but I want to make friends. So that's gonna be my challenge, of keeping that balance and getting myself out there without getting myself too out there, if that makes sense. Number 8, when did you start reading? Again, like I said, I started to read when I was 3 years old. My dad always tells me this story, and he apparently used to read me my bedtime stories when I was a child, and he would like come in my room, or I'd be like, Daddy, read me a story. So he always tells me this story, and I was maybe like 2 or something, and I was like, Daddy, come read me a story. And my dad is a sarcastic jokester, which I pick up from him, and so he said, I brought him this book, and he goes, read you a story? When are you gonna start reading me a story? And he said that I was like, Daddy, I can't read. And then he said that he asked me why not. And then I started to read. I was like, well, I know this word, and I knew like the and he's like, okay. So then he started to teach me how to read, and so by 3 years old, I was reading. So yeah, I'm being really weird. Okay, number 9, where do you read? Mostly I read right here on my bed. I'll read at night, and then sometimes, because I'm so busy, because I'm in college, because I like travel over the weekends, and I also work in the afternoons and go to school in the mornings, I like to read on my bus rides, because, fun fact, Tiara does not have her license, but I live in a college town, so we have, public transportation, so I usually take the buses to campus, to work, all that stuff. So I will read, ebooks on my phone as I travel, because I don't like to bring my books in my backpack because they always end up getting ruined. So yeah. And the last question, number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? And again, I kind of answered this before. My favorite genre is YA books. They're awesome. I hope I never grow out of them. But I also do like to read weird classical books. Like, I don't like to read, some of them I just don't like, but I'm really a fan of, again, the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. I love The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. Those are all classic literature. I really love Jane Austen. So, again, that's not really that unorthodox. But, yeah, I do like classic books, but most of the time when I read them, I'm, in a weird place in my life. Another one of my favorite classical books is The Paradise Lost by John Milton. Really, really good, okay? It's a really tough book to get through, but it's really, really good. I also like to read African American literature. I read Roots in the 5th grade, and that really introduced me to a lot of literature by African American authors, and just history books, things like that. So I love those. And then I also love romance / borderline erotica books, just because I find them interesting and I learn a lot of things. I'm not gonna act like I'm ashamed. I do like them and I do read them, and they're kind of my in-between books when I'm in a slump. And then I'm like, let me read some smut. And yeah, so that was the last question, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be uploading a book review very, very soon. I'm actually gonna film it now, so if you didn't enjoy this video and you're waiting for a review, that will be coming probably later this week. But I still appreciate you guys for watching, and if you could give me a thumbs up, and I don't know, share with some of your other book friends so that we can be friends, and feel free to talk to me. Again, like I said, Maggie, she's been talking to me, we've been interacting. I really like her, she's a lot of fun. I checked out her, she has kind of a book blog thing, and I just think she's awesome. So I'm just here to make friends. So yeah, like and subscribe. I'll leave my Goodreads and my Booktuber down below, and hopefully I can make some friends. Yeah. Okay.